Hey guys, welcome to the weekend. I've got something special for you today. No, not presents. A video about Star Citizen. I've been watching Star Citizen developments for the past 12 years, and finally, for the first time, I have a computer system that should allow me to dive in and enjoy this game. And when I say game, that's in quotation marks. In all its glory, and yes, all its bugs. I took the plunge at the end of December and got a starter pack for 53 quid because there was a Christmas special on. The base pack, I think, was about 35 quid, but I wanted something that reminded me of my childhood. And if this doesn't remind you of the shuttle of the 80s and 90s, then nothing will. Anyway, my first 3 days have been a bit of a disappointment. I was plagued with nothing but black screen crashes, making the game unplayable. The crashes happened at random, and when you have a crash in Star Citizen, you lose everything. All your progress, all the gear you've been wearing, carrying, everything even in your ship, and all your missions are aborted. And if, as likely, I'd been recording, I've lost all that too. The file would become corrupt even though, supposedly, I'm recording in a format that shouldn't be corrupted by a crash. But well, it's not just Star Citizen software that doesn't work these days. A lot of things overpromise and underdeliver. Anyway, what you're looking at here is some Star Citizen gameplay, so it looks like I may have managed to find a solution to the crashes. Now, I'm no IT expert, there are vegetables that are more technically savvy than me, but I do have a pair of eyes that still work a little, and I know how to use Google. It's then of course just a matter of reading through lots of nonsense and looking for things that sound plausible. Then just having a go with semi-comprehension of what you're actually doing. Who said a little knowledge is dangerous? It's better than the alternatives, poking it with a stick or paying a fortune to an expert to come and fix the issue. Both of those with your fingers crossed. A vast majority of the suggestions require either a computer science degree, you need to run this, you need to run that diagnosis, strip this out, strip that out, at which point my brain may as well have been made of rock. Dude, I know how to put water in a kettle and hit the big red button. And either after decades, I still burn my tongue when drinking my coffee. Alternatively, many of the suggestions were just, you need to buy a 1000 PSU. Really? I've just got this rig 2 months ago, and you think I'm gonna have it all ripped apart and essentially rebuilt for a new 1000 power supply unit? That, quite honest, I find to be laziness. It may very well mask the problem, but only because a 1000 PSU for my rig and most rigs is complete overkill. My system is 2 months old, or 3 months old maximum. It's an MSI AMD 7900 XTX GPU with 32GB Corsair 5600 MHz VRAM, a 1TB boot SSD, and a 4TB storage gaming SSD. An MSI Z690 Tomahawk motherboard with an i7 13900K water-cooled CPU and a Gigabyte 850GM 80 gold standard PSU. I'm gaming at 1440p on high graphics settings while mostly running OBS recording software and a webcam. My system should certainly be able to handle that, despite Star Citizen being in alpha, not being optimised. Anyway, what did I find in amongst all the nonsense? Beyond the obvious, to check both your operating system and your drivers are up to date. It seems there are 3 possible causes bar faulty hardware stroke software. Number 1, your VRAM may be running XMP software, which is effectively a manufacturer installed type of overclocking to meet the frequency advertised, because most of them don't actually meet the advertising frequencies. However, this software can cause instability in the VRAM, especially if there are defects, and Star Citizen not being optimised potentially exacerbates these defects. Number 2, the page file set for additional virtual RAM may not be enough to meet any spikes that Star Citizen requires.
Hello.
And 3, the AMD chips, certainly the 7900 XTX, may be causing power spikes because its clock ceiling frequency is too high. Well, I increased my virtual RAM page size and lowered my AMD clock frequency to 2550, a suggested cap, which would cap it out at 2600 MHz, as it allows a 50 MHz overclock, and this seems to have allowed me to stabilise the system, and I've gamed for 9 hours since without any further crashes. So I thought I would share how to do all of the above if you guys are experiencing similar issues, before you call the expert or splash out on a 1000 watt power supply unit. Of course, I'm sharing this for information purposes only. As previously stated, I'm not an IT expert. I am not advising you to carry out any system changes. You do so at your own risk and own volition, and I'm not responsible for any events, issues, etc. that may result. However, with that caveat, I'll go ahead and show you what I figured out. And it's good timing, because it looks like I'm just about to come in for a landing at Port Tesla. I don't want to see you stuff up my landing, so I think we'll move on. Okay, go on then. You've twisted my arm, let's watch it. Let's watch if I land or if I crash. I've no idea where I'm going. It's so hard to find out where the landing spots are. And of course we're in space, so you're upside down, so to speak, because there's no such thing as upside down. I'm not doing too bad considering it's mouse and keyboard. Trying to fly with mouse and keyboard is terrible, but not as bad as me trying to fly with a joystick. I'm just terrible at flying. I'll have to have lots more practice. Come on, you can do it. I'm being so careful, guys, because I'm at the very end of completing a mission, a 3 delivery mission that I tried several times over the last few days, but then the game kept crashing on me. And there we go. Look at that. The best shuttle landing ever. And that's it. I don't think you need to see any more, do you? Let's move on and have a look at what I need to show you. So what you're looking at here, guys, is called your Moby Glass, and here's your history of the missions. All these ones that you can see that say abandoned on them, these aren't missions I abandoned. These are missions that I was on that got abandoned because my computer crashed. So that's how often it was crashing. It was just crashing. It was basically giving me it'd be working fine. All of a sudden the screen would go black and then the whole computer would just shut down and then restart. So I think personally it was to do with a power spike that was going over the safety of the PSU, which was then shutting down. So what I'm showing you here is how you can check if your system is running XMP. So if you find that program, that CPUID program, it's a free program I believe. If you load it up and then look under SPD tab, you'll see there under SPDEXT it says XMP 3.0. so that's a software. It's basically a supplier implemented overclocking software. So if you go on, download that, put it on your computer and then run it, it'll be able to show you if you run it XMP. What you need to do is when you're firing up your computer, as soon as you start fire up, right, you can press delete and that'll interrupt the startup and start up your BIOS, and then you can go into your BIOS and you can look for the XMP and turn it off. This is, by the way, just for AMD. You can get into NVIDIA BIOS the same way I believe, but all I'm talking here is AMD. So that's the MSI GPU BIOS, and you can see there up in the corner where it says XMP profile, and it's got 1 on it. Now what I'm actually doing here is I'm actually going to turn it on again. It's because it's blacked out, it's off, but that's now turned on. If yours is on, when you go in it, that'll already be red and you can turn it off. The reason I'm turning it back on is because I just want to see if it is the case of that. So then once you've turned it off, you can go into settings like that, choose save changes, and then when you hit save changes it will ask you to confirm what you're doing. So you can see extreme memory profile disabled to enabled. So just to show you again, save changes, put yes, then you can close it down. It asks you again to do it when you close it down. So that now has turned off my XMP. I turned it back on just to test because I'd done 3 changes. Once you turn it off it'll continue to load to the desktop, which is what I'm waiting for it here. I'm just filming it so you can see that that's how it goes to the desktop. But that's basically how you get into your BIOS if you need to turn off your XMP. So that's solution number 1 that you can try if you're having blackouts running Star Citizen. So there you can go. You can see it's Thursday. I've just cut out my password. Now I'm wearing a hat. Don't know why I'm wearing a hat inside. Maybe it's my hair was a mess and I didn't want to let you guys see it. So anyway, you need to go into your system. This is how you set your page file. So you go into your system and then you get into the about page, which is down at the bottom. Then I think you're looking for, it's a bit further up, that's it, advanced system settings. You click on that, then you'll get your systems properties window open. You go on to advanced tab, that'll bring up performance. Then you go into settings, right? Then again you need to go into advanced. So when you're in advanced, now you can see down the bottom there your virtual memory. Go to change. Now I've got 2 drives, a C drive and a D drive. So I'm going to leave the C drive on system managed, but the D drive I'm going to click on it in a minute and change it to custom size. Yep. Then all you have to do is change the initial size and the maximum size. Now I've set them both to 64 gig. Then you press set and OK. If you've only got the one and it's on system managed, I would take that and click that onto custom size and do the same. Set yourself a good amount of virtual memory. If you've got 2 like me, you can have page files on both. Microsoft say that their system is able to use both and it will automatically always use the one that is most advantageous to use, right? So that's how you change your page file size. So you can go in there and increase it if you're having problems. I read like 2 times your RAM. Now this is solution 3 to change your clock speed, your GPU clock speed. So you need AMD Adrenalin. You need to download it, and then once you've downloaded it you can right click and open this, go on to performance and tuning, and then you pick custom tuning. Then you enable both GPU tuning and advanced tuning, and that'll change this from percentage to a actual frequency. And what I read there was suggest to lower it to 550 and then press, you know, apply changes, and then that's how to set your clock speed. And now guys, everything should run smoothly. Oh, it certainly has done for me. As you can see, everything is just running perfect. Or maybe not. I can't even remember my password. But I'll just let this run. As you can see, it working for a bit. And you can obviously watch this for as much as you want. I'll eventually get in, don't worry. It does take a while to load up, even though it's on an SSD. But I gamed for about 9 hours after making these changes without any crashes. So hopefully if you guys are having the same issues, one of those solutions or all of those solutions will provide the answer. And obviously you can change them back when you're not running Star Citizen. In fact, I think the change that you do through MSI Afterburner will reset itself every time you shut the computer down. So you'd have to go and change your clock speed anyway every time you reboot the computer. And here I am in my bed. These are my graphics settings that I'm running on. Very high, medium, medium, high, high. And to be honest, these are just the settings that the system decided to put in for me. You can see from my performance there that the FPS runs all over the place. It's running at 121 FPS at the moment. The jerking there is because obviously the camera is having difficulty. There's no room behind me for the camera, so that's why it's jerking. It's not a problem with the actual, it's just the camera, the virtual camera in the game. Here we go. There she is. What a beauty. What a beauty. Field of vision. Look at the gun on that. It's got 3 guns, 4 missiles. It's a sexy little starter ship, isn't it? It is, in my opinion, anyway. That was why I paid the extra £35 starter ship. Looks basically like a glass brick. And I think because it was on discount, this ship's usually 75, I think. Here we are, ready for a takeoff. You see the FPS has dropped a bit. But don't forget, I'm running recording software at the same time. Look at that, graphics are gorgeous, sounds are gorgeous. I mean, the game, in quotation marks, is it a game? In a sense, yes it is. In other senses, no it's not. I mean, yeah, it does have bugs, but then most games have bugs these days. Am I happy so far that I've spent 53 quid? To be honest, yes I am. Apart from not when I couldn't play when it was crashing, I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute I've been playing. And I'm telling you now guys, I'm rubbish at playing this game. I've never really played first person shooters. So that's the other starter ship that you can get for 35 quid. I just think it looks ugly in comparison. So I thought, you know what, it's Christmas, I'll treat myself. I've been watching this game develop for 12 years and listened to all the claims of it's a scam. It's not a scam. I mean, it's got a lot more development to go, but to be fair, the original vision that the developer had, the technology just didn't exist then. I mean, they're still pushing the envelope with the technology now, but come on, look at this. I've got in a ship, on a spaceship, on a space station. I've launched myself into space. I've mapped out the system. I've flown through space. I've thrown from space and landed on the planet. Something that you can't do in whatever that other game was by Bethesda. Starfield, wasn't it? Loading Screensville. I don't know. The graphics on this, there's no comparison between this and Starfield. But this is a problem, look. I've got a mission to go and pick up these parcels. They're all in this building. And the door won't open. This is an edited version. I spent over half an hour trying to open this damn door. I kept going round, I went round the whole site, coming back to it, wondering if it was opening yet. It didn't. Then I heard that if you fly off into space and come back again, it might reset itself. So I thought, you know what, alright, I'll do that. I'm determined to do this blinking mission. I'm trying to do it for 3 days. So in we go. I mean, as I say, it's better than Starfield. You can get in a ship and you can take off from the planet's surface. You can walk over this whole planet, by the way, and fly all over it and drive all over it. No loading screens, nothing. You'll see me, I'm gonna launch myself into space. Still running at 90, 65, 80, 100 FPS, 130. Here we are, guys, now we're well in space. I think space starts at 12 miles or 12,000 meters. Now what I'm looking for is to jump away, because what I've read is the fact that if the doors lock, if you jump out of system and then back again, it sometimes clears it. So I'm testing it now. So there you go. Jumped away. Gonna jump back again. But look at this seamless planet to space travel. Admittedly, it's taken RSI 12 years of development to do it. But wasn't Starfield in development for 20 years? I think the FPS on this is still better as well, and it's not even optimised. So I'm returning to the surface now. I'm flying at a high altitude because if you notice it allows me to fly faster. There's less air friction because there's air physics in this. You'll notice that at some points when you try and land and there's a strong wind, your plane, or not your plane, but your ship will be being pushed slowly away if you're hovering. First time I encountered that, I had so much trouble trying to land. I was trying to land on a roof somewhere, a tall building, and I kept wondering why I was going all over the place and almost crashing into the side of the building and all sorts. Here we are, coming in for a skillful landing. Hoping I can get these parcels, get this mission started. Now that sea height is, a sea height, not the actual land height. The land is actually not as low as the sea. You'll notice a discrepancy between the meters and how far it is to the place I'm going. And here I am, I'm slowing down, I'm being a sensible pilot. I'm only 700 meters off the ground now, 600. I'm doing... Now what I'm doing here, I think I've got my finger on Z and I'm pressing W to go forward. Oh, jeez, what a muppet. Can't believe it. I can fix all the crashes except my own. What actually happened there was I still had my finger on strafe down when I thought I was having it on Z and moved forward. Well, there you go, guys. That's it. I hope you learned something. I'm a bit tired after all that, so I think I might just lie here in my hospital bed and recuperate before continuing my journey in Star Citizen. But yeah, if you're having any problems with your system just going to black screen crashes, try those solutions, and if unfortunately none of those help, then to be honest, that's going to be beyond my technical abilities. I mean, that was pushing it, you know. But if you've reset your drivers, reset your operating system, ran some scan file fixes, applied those 3 solutions, page file, XMP, and your clock speed, limiting your clock speed, then yeah, it could be something more serious. So you either need to be able to diagnose what it is yourself, or get an expert in to find out what it is, or hey, just go out and buy yourself a 1000 watt PSU. And that's all from me, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in Star Citizen or Eve or Warhammer 40,000 or any other games that we're going to cover on this channel. Alright guys, thanks very much, and any comments, questions about Star Citizen, probably not technical questions, feel free to fire them into the comments. See you soon guys, take care, fly safe, safer than me, bye bye now.